Welcome, everybody, to the illusion of privacy, the illusion of digital sovereignty, the illusion of safety that we are all living within. 7.97 billion people in the world as of a survey or census conducted in 2022. Very scary whenever you start getting into where this space potentially goes. Digital assets, crypto, interconnectivity, especially when you start understanding what's going on with big tech, understanding what's going on from government initiatives, and kind of across the board here. Once everything is interconnected, once we're all utilizing digital assets and these networks to facilitate everything within our everyday lives, it's going to make Web 2 and the internet look like, a drop in the bucket. Now, Web 3 and digital assets, the internet of value, is underpinned by Web 2, obviously, but if you really start researching how much of our data is accessible to these service providers, to these governments, it becomes extremely, extremely frightening. Referencing back to August 22nd, Oracle and their quote-unquote surveillance machine has been targeted in a United States privacy class action lawsuit. Now, Oracle pretty much underpins a lot of what happens with JavaScript. So anytime you're updating your internet aspects or your phone aspects and you're dealing in Java, you're pretty much dealing in Oracle, to the point that this lawsuit basically states that Oracle has amassed detailed dossiers on some 5 billion people in the world, accusing that the company and its ad tech and advertising subsidiaries are violating privacy of the majority of people on Earth. If you get down into the weeds within this root cause, there's no comprehensive federal privacy law in the United States. And also on top of this, Oracle collects vast amounts of data from unwitting internet users without their consent, uses this surveillance intelligence to profile us, further enriching profiles via Oracle's data marketplace where you're being bought and sold, and threatening people's privacy on a vast scale, including, per the allegations, the use of proxies for sensitive data to circumvent privacy controls. On top of all of this, Ireland, just recently, this a few days ago, fined Instagram $400 million for handling of teens' data. Now, what this gets into here, and this is really frightening for any of us that have children, is anybody under the age of 18 was given the option to upgrade a personal account with privacy settings into a business account. I think this was prior to 2019. Now, prior to 2019, now I should preface this by saying that the minimum age for Instagram users is 13 years of age. So people between 13 and 18, our youths, had the ability to upgrade to a business account before 2019. And that business account, by default, was sharing phone numbers and email addresses of pretty much any of our kids that decided to upgrade to that. The pool for these kids was, advanced metrics within social profiles. So upgrading to that business account would give them more insight into how cool or how popular they are on the platform. Instagram being sued. This gets into the fact that Facebook was fined 17 million euros in March. WhatsApp was fined 225 million euros last year as well. Privacy, privacy, privacy. And it doesn't exist anywhere across the board right now. Everything that we are doing, this video that I'm making right now, it's extremely frightening. Getting into China, this is a UK study that just came out over the past couple of days here, talking about this surveillance system in China already being well developed. In the construction of smart cities, mass surveillance serves to measure, track, and analyze data from various aspects of life, including air quality and traffic congestion. During the pandemic, though, they were tracking individuals who had the virus, obviously. But some of this tracking included sensitive personal information, individual location tracking, image collection, and identity recognition. Moving forward here, my research aspects around privacy, CBDCs, digital sovereignty aspects are being sponsored by the XX Network. Now, if you're not aware of the XX Network, I'm going to provide to you some information like I provided in the first kind of heavy-hitting video within that, where I did some deep dives and found some really interesting connections. This is all underpinned by David Shum. Now, the XX Network is decentralized. at this point in time and only decentralizing further in the future. But David Chaum did found the XX network. If you're not aware who David is, pioneer in cryptography and in privacy-preserving and secure voting technologies, the creator and founder of the XX network. In 1995, DigiCash created and deployed eCash, which a lot of people probably don't know, the first digital currency. Utilized Chaum's breakthrough blind signature protocol. Now, I'm not going to get into this entire article that he wrote today, but I do want to get into this because it's extremely smart and it's extremely informative for you all. Each of us, though, has not only a physical body, but a unique personal body of knowledge about us, consisting of everything we do on the internet. Right now, our informational bodies are scattered and are not within our control. In fact, they're under the control of the tech companies that provide us with quote-unquote free internet services. We saw that, Oracle, right? Not just social media and instant messaging, but emails and searches and online purchases, who we communicate with, how much and how often, what we're interested in, and, of course, what we pay for. All this information is collected and sold to advertisers or political groups or provided to government agencies. Internet privacy and Web 2, or the internet, is a dead letter. And because of the enormous clout of big tech and the United States economy, the likelihood of any legislation being passed that would change this situation more than marginally is very small. Fortunately, technology offers solutions in the form of cryptography, both established and novel. It is possible not only to encrypt message content against even future quantum computers, but to create decentralized networks that quote-unquote shred message metadata such that no one but sender and recipient can identify each other, including the network's node operators. Searches from within such a network can likewise be anonymous and untraceable. If Web3 doesn't provide every individual with informational autonomy, if it isn't truly decentralized and democratically managed, it's just Web 2.1 in a fancy dress. It's a fantastic, fantastic quote. On the back of this, I do research on a consistent basis, and whenever I start trying to dig into privacy aspects in this space, you can even see here from like late August, David Chaum is consistently being referenced across the board. You can look at a research aspect as far as the Islamic monetary system. Cryptocurrency is money, referencing David Chaum, proposing some of the initial ideas with around his work. And yeah, it's just really, really interesting with all of the nonsense going on in the world right now, with where this space goes in the future, with how our privacy gets protected in the future. There are mechanisms and there is tech that we can participate in to try to build a better vision of where this space goes. Protect our privacy, really it's freedom. Freedom of speech does not exist without privacy in the digital age, right? Access Council's vision and their first network council meeting was held like a week ago. It was fantastic. I got through this today. We talk a lot about a bear market. It's very clear to me that the XX network is building. Again, not advocating financial advice for you to go out and buy the native coin, but am advocating for you to do your own research as much as possible. I'll provide the link to the Discord where you guys can certainly go and join and ask as many questions as you want to, and the Telegram. And I'm going to go through a little bit of this first council meeting here. By the way, this XX council, these meetings, these council members are elected representatives from within the XX community. So if this is something that's important to you, if privacy is important to you, if kind of the shaping of where this space goes, if you're concerned about, a lack of privacy in the future as far as digital assets and the digital economy is concerned, I certainly recommend you, joining in and, participating. Who knows, maybe you could get, elected onto the council at some point in time. This dev roadmap is fascinating though. Before I get into that, there was 3 fundamentals that David Chaum talked about within this council meeting of the XX network. The first is the layer 1, which facilitates thousands of quantum-resistant payment transactions per second. The second is privacy. There's a study done by IBM that stated that 3/4 of the people in the world believe that the largest problem existing in the internet today is privacy. Well, the XX network facilitates privacy aspects via low latency processing. Applications onboarding users into real value is kind of that third aspect. That's what we always hear about the killer app, right? Seamless onboarding of the mass populace into this space. And applications are what's going to get us there. Applications that are easy for people to use, that people understand, where they don't necessarily even have to understand the underlying tech. They just understand that the application works for them, for things that they care about, right? This JavaScript XXDK is coming out within the next 30 days, which deals in those web applications and is the key to unlocking potentially hundreds of partnerships within the ecosystem. The technical work is done within that, and it's currently in testing. I'm just going to do some heavy hitting stuff in here that I found really interesting. Also, channels, unlimited group members within 30 days, messenger release for channels within Q4. What these channels represent essentially is, imagine Telegram right now when you go on and there are no private, I don't know, maybe you don't know this. There's like, even if you set your profile to private, it's not private on Telegram, right? Telegram still has access to all of your data. And if Telegram is subpoenaed, they will certainly turn over your data to whoever has, whatever government organization or whatever's happening that would require that, them to be subpoenaed. So, decentralized account backup partnership. So they did just mention a partnership with Crust last week. And let me get into this right here. So quantum secure transactions, they have laid out at 6 to 8 weeks. This is actually quantum secure web-based wallets. So signatures and wallets. I think there's already a simple staking tool, which is kind of that easy to understand, easy onboarding aspect for people to learn about blockchain in a way that they can, that they can be reciprocated value just based on the fact that they can understand something whenever they log on. So a simple staking tool, which is certainly awesome. A mobile wallet application, governance and staking metrics, Ethereum virtual machine bridge, 4 to 6 weeks, smart contracts. It's fascinating. So I will share the link to this YouTube video for you guys as well. And if you want to look through the Google Doc, I'll probably share that also. Also, I should note, I saw this, the XX Network's Ledger application is now under security review, which is fantastic. And this is actually, Ledger. So I do think that there are some web-based things that XX Network is dealing with as well, as far as quantum secure web-based ways for us to potentially custody our digital assets. So if you want to check out XX, go to xxfoundation.org, go to xx.network as well. But I would really recommend joining into the Discord and participating in the community, because I know that they're active. I know that they're constantly, all this documentation is within that Discord as well. They'll certainly be willing to facilitate answers for you guys. But again, for me, this is a very, very important topic. For me, I'm honored to be sponsored by XX and talking about privacy and the research that I do around it anyways, especially when we're going to start dealing in CBDC initiatives. I mean, that's going to be an immensely polarizing topic to see how some of these nations start rolling out central bank digital currencies. You can see just how unprivate everything is right now as far as this Oracle lawsuit that's going to be ongoing now. 5 billion users. 5 billion users have dossiers that Oracle has basically put together based on our data and how we use the internet as we do right now. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, not financial advice, obviously, but, for me, if I see networks trying to solve real problems that exist right now, and certainly real problems that are going to continue to exist in the future, this is the whole goal. It's to solve those problems, right? And if we can participate in that, I think it's a very valuable path forward. So I will talk to you guys when I talk to you. Thanks. Bye.